Hola mis amores, ¿cómo están? It's your girl Breezy and I am back with another well overdue video. Alright, so today's video is going to be about something that I get asked a lot about, and that is how to solo travel. Yes, I feel like this video will be very helpful for a lot of you who are looking to get into solo traveling, who have had any questions, any doubts, or you just don't know where to begin. Like, girl or guy, like, I am here to help you, okay? So let's get into it. But before we do, make sure y'all are subscribed. Like, y'all be watching, but y'all not subscribing. And like, it's not clicking, Steven. So let's do that. Go ahead. It takes you 2 seconds and it's free. It's free. And you know what you get blessed with? Beautiful content. Also, don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoy it, and let's get started. All right, so I'm going to be giving you guys 4 guidelines to help you start solo traveling safely and effectively, I guess you can say, right? We want to make sure you have a good time, but we want to make sure that you're doing it safely, so you can, come back. All right, so tip number 1 is to plan ahead. Sometimes the whole go with the flow thing, it works out for some people, but if you're someone who's just starting out and it's your first time solo traveling, I highly recommend planning everything ahead of time. Definitely give yourself a little wiggle room. I'm not the type of person that when I travel, I like everything like 8 a.m. wake up, do this, but I try to have an activity plan, at least one, and then I go about my day from there, So try to plan ahead. How do you do that? How do I know what to do? I've never been there before. Like, how do I know where to go? Baby, you got unlimited resources. You got Google. You got YouTube University, which I am a big fan of. You got TripAdvisor. You got Airbnb experiences. Like, you can do your research pretty much and just come up with an itinerary for yourself. Basically, if you watch YouTube videos and it's a popular place, like, you can see what everyone else does when they go there, and then that's when you can start putting those things on your list, like, oh, that looks really fun, like, I want to do that. As far as food places, very easy. I guess you can even put in like best restaurants in blah 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 blah, and I'm sure you'll come up with a ton of stuff. Like, just the information's out there, guys. You just gotta find it, So plan your activities. Find yourself a few restaurants. Restaurants I don't really focus on too much until I'm there, because you can always just like put in and see like what's around you, or you can ask locals for their opinion on what's the best food. Like, I love doing that. Like, I love asking people where to go. But as far as your activities, definitely, like, if you want to go hiking, you want to go to different swimming holes and like nature stuff, all this stuff you kind of want to plan ahead. Granted, you could get lucky and meet people along the way and figure it out, but those type of things usually need to be booked in advance. All right, tip number 2 has to deal with your stay. Where are you going to be sleeping? Okay, so my biggest tip to you is to avoid the resorts and avoid the hotels. Not saying that you can't stay there, and yes, you will, I guess in a sense, be safer, but for me, I'd rather be, depending on where I'm traveling, I'd rather be in the local neighborhoods, okay? Get on Airbnb, stay in hostels. Now, personally, I've never stayed in a hostel, so I can't really give you guys like a personal like opinion and experience on that, but I imagine it'd be super cool. Like, you meet a bunch of other people who are traveling just like you. I know someone who stays in hostels, and like, she seems to just meet, like, I don't really know, but it seems like she like meets new people, and like she makes like these long-lasting connections. She sees these people again and again and again, and like, it just seems like a cool experience. So I definitely like to try it one day, but I am someone who, you can get private rooms. You don't have to necessarily share with other people, but I need more information for myself before I actually like decide to do that. But I feel like it'd be a great way to meet people, a great way to connect and like make travel buddies, When I say Airbnb, baby. My first solo trip, I actually stayed in my host's house that they were actually living in. So I'm assuming it was a 4-bedroom house. 3 of the rooms they rented out. I was in one. There was 2 other guys, and then I guess they had their bedroom or whatever. And like, it was lit. Like, it was nice. I didn't really socialize with the other guys like too much, but like the host, it was a male and a female. Like, they were married or whatever. So like, when I had questions, I would ask them. Whenever I would see them, they were super friendly and hospitable. And like, I'm the type of person that doesn't like shared spaces, but that was one of like the best Airbnb experiences. And I just like, I loved it. Like, I had people to like, that I could talk to, you know. Something had happened, not something bad, but something had happened, and it like raised a question for me. So I was able to ask them on their opinion. They were able to give me advice and like, you know, tell me different ways to move or where I should go, like, you know, stuff like that. So it's always helpful to have other people around. When I stayed in my first Airbnb in Dominican Republic, there's a video up about it, but my neighbors, super cool, love them, still talk to them till this day. Like, my little friend Camila's always like, when are you coming? When are you coming back to see us? Like, I'm just like, baby, I'm coming soon. Like, I freaking love that little girl so much. Like, they're kind of like family to me now, you know? You really just make connections when you put yourself out there and put yourself like in these neighborhoods and put yourself around people. If you're in a hotel, yeah, you can leave your hotel and meet people, but like, I don't know, I feel like I'd be in my room and like, I just wouldn't talk to anyone, like, you know? I don't know, it's just my opinion. Rule number 3 is to stay open to new experiences and go with the flow, okay? If you meet people and they want to take you here and take you there, go. But I need for you guys to be smart and to trust your gut, okay? If in your gut you feel like you are about to put yourself in a sketchy situation or that someone is not genuine, do not go. I repeat, do not go. Now, people ask me, how do you get around DR so well? How do you do this and how do you do that? I meet people, I talk. I'm very much an introverted person, but when I am overseas, over in the Caribbean, I'm like blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm trying to get to know people. I'm trying to get out. I'm trying to have a good time. Anyone who's giving me a weird vibe, I'm not going to go out with you. There's been instances where I've like, you know, kind of chatted to someone. I'm like, nah, I don't feel like I'd be out with you, like alone, like somewhere. And then there's other people like, okay, like you can come pick me up, like we can go here, we can go there, like it's cool. And like those people, like I end up becoming friends with or acquaintances, whatever you want to say. And like it's cool, like, you know, no worries. Like I don't have to worry about anything. But definitely trust your gut. But don't be so scared. Like your fear is gonna hold you back from a lot of experiences, but you just have to put yourself out there, but trust your gut at the same time. If something feels off, it probably is. Piggybacking off of this, going along with this, the biggest thing, I did a poll, I think last year, and the biggest fear people told me as to why they would not be willing to solo travel or why they haven't is because they are scared of being kidnapped. Now, don't get me wrong, kidnapping does happen in other countries. It does. It happens to people when they go on vacation, and it happens to everyday people. But guess what? The same things happen right here. If you're like me, you live in the United States, it happens right here in the United States, guys. There's crime everywhere. There's kidnapping everywhere. There's trafficking everywhere. There's all of that everywhere. So you can't let certain things like that hold you in fear. But like I said, trust your gut. Be smart. Don't walk streets at nighttime. Depending on where you are, don't go out to clubs alone at nighttime. Don't get belligerently drunk and be out by yourself. Like, you just have to use your head. You have to use your head and be smart. I know when I go to DR, it's always put your phone away, put your phone away. Before I can even walk out the door, put your phone away. Oh, when we're walking down the street, make sure your purse is in front of you. Put this like this. I got on a Moto Concho and I'm trying to like film for you guys. The first time I went to DR, Moto Concho's like, put your phone away. And I'm like, okay, está bien. Perdón. Like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. But like, you have to listen. You really do. There's this guy here on YouTube. His name is Kurt Kaz. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but I love his videos. He's so freaking adventurous. He goes where people tell him not to go. People are like, put your camera away. He's like, yeah, okay. He keeps recording. Like, he's great. But I would never put myself in that situation, okay? Because I value my life, and I'm a female traveling. I'm not playing those games. I'm not trying to fight nobody, okay? So I make sure to use my head. But I'm not going to think of all the worst case scenarios and let that stop me from traveling and living my life. That's what I'm going to do. Okay. My fourth and final tip for you guys is to do your research. I touched on this a little bit before, but it's very important so you can know what to do. You also need to know different cultural like customs and just things that are normal and things that are not in different countries. For example, when I went to France, someone actually told me this before I went. They're like, hey, wherever you go, when you walk in, you need to say bonjour or bonsoir. Like, I didn't know that before. Here, yeah, when I walk into like a store, I expect to be like greeted, but I don't have to speak to a soul. I don't have to speak to nobody. And there's other countries where if you see someone, you're passing by someone, you need to say hello. It's very rude and disrespectful if you don't, you know? There's parts of the US that are like that, you know? When I was in northern Florida, it was like a shock to me being from New Jersey where we don't really speak to anyone. It was a shock, like when I'm like passing someone like on the street, like they're like, good morning, hey sweetie, how you doing? Like, why are you talking to me? But it was kind of refreshing, like, oh, like there's actually like warm and like nice people in this world. I don't know, it's just like little things like that. Like, it's important to know. You need to know what neighborhoods not to go into, what neighborhoods not to stay in. You need to know, you need to be familiar with the transportation. Is it safe for you to take public transportation? Can sometimes people pretend to be good transportation and then they're not, like, you know? You need to know if Uber is up and running in the country that you're going to. Because a lot of times, Uber might not be, or it might be available in certain cities and not in others. So you need to know how to maneuver. So you guys have to do your research. Like I said, there's endless resources. Google, YouTube. Use YouTube, please. I use YouTube for everything. Like, when I want to go somewhere, I kind of like obsess over like going to that country, and like I'm just like researching everything. Like, I need to know, because you're not going to catch me lacking, okay? I want to go and I want to enjoy my time. Another thing, small thing, but like even like wall adapter things. Like when I went to Europe, I had to bring an adapter because our plugs, what we use to plug into the wall, you can't plug that into their plugs. So you have to have the adapter thing. How was I supposed to know that if I didn't do my research? You know? So yeah, those are pretty much the 4 tips I have for you guys. I hope that you found them very useful, and I hope that you guys apply them, and please go out and travel. And let me know where you guys are traveling to. Like, it literally excites me when people get up and like go travel, or it really touches my heart when people find inspiration in like my videos and like they DM me about it and things like that. So let me know. It's not weird. I'm gonna respond. Like, don't come in my DMs on some crazy-ish now. I'm not responding to that. But in regards to travel or any other needs like you guys have, language, let me know, okay? So, if you made it this far and you have enjoyed this video, mil gracias, mi amor, and give me a like, comment down below where you are thinking of traveling next. Even if you don't have set plans, let me know where you would like to go. All right? I love you guys so much. Thank you for all the support